HMRC are sending out MTD demand letters right now. And this is going to be a huge burden on those who already do self-assessments. And this has been coming for a long time, but it's going to happen just as the Treasury has indicated it's going to increase taxes on small businesses and working people. And if you thought HMRC was not going to go ahead with making tax digital, then unfortunately you were wrong. Everything will change for sole traders and the self-employed. 5 tax returns a year, more fines and higher costs. I'm going to go through exactly what's in these letters, what you need to do if you get one, and if you haven't got one yet, what you need to do right now to make sure you can keep out the system. So here's what's happening. The first batch of MTD demand letters are hitting doormats across the UK as we speak. Now, if you're one of those responsible business owners who filed your self-assessment early, congratulations. You're now locked into HMRC's crosshairs. And I've actually got one of these letters right here, and it's pretty clear what you need to do. So firstly, they say you need to sign up for Making Tax Digital for income tax, so you're ready to use the service from the 6th of April 2026. And it also confirms that you won't be able to submit on their website anymore, and you'll need software. So if you have this letter, there is no debate. You've declared more than 50k of income for your 24-25 tax year. And now remember that this is just income. It ignores costs. So this is going to have a massive impact on millions of people. Millions of people will now have to register for MTD and do 5 tax returns a year. And the annoying thing is they're not sending these letters out to your accountant. This lands on your doormat. And if you miss it or you ignore it, guess who's going to get hammered with penalties? It'll be you. Now, if you've seen our videos on MTD, you know that we think this is going to be a disaster for small businesses. And internally, we've been referring to MTD as making tax difficult. So first off, instead of 1 annual return, you'll now have to file 5 returns, 4 quarterly updates, plus your annual submission. You're already busy. You're running a business, but with this, you're going to be doing more admin. This could take a couple of days out each quarter for you to put together your quarterly filing, which is going to take away from you actually making money. But what's worse is you now have 5 chances to get it wrong. 5 deadlines to miss, 5 opportunities for HMRC to slap with penalties. And speaking of penalties, they've completely overhauled the system. Sure, they say you won't get a financial penalty for a one-off mistake, and that sounds really generous. But after 4 penalty points, you're looking at £200 in fines. Miss the deadlines after that, more fines. And these could end up with a fine of up to £3,000. And this should terrify every small business owner watching, because it's quite clear to see what they're going to do. It looks like they're going to eventually lower the VAT threshold. Think about it. They're getting everyone on digital systems, quarterly reporting. It's the perfect setup to start dragging more people into the VAT net as well. And we know from leaks from the Treasury that they keep considering reducing the VAT threshold to just £30,000. It's no coincidence that this is in line with MTD. This isn't about making tax easier. This is about making it easier for HMRC to extract every penny they can from hardworking people. It's about control. It's about turning us into unpaid tax collectors who have to report to them 4 times a year instead of once. So if you've already submitted your self-assessment for 24-25, you need to pay attention right now. HMRC are using those figures to determine who's getting dragged into MTD. If your total income from self-employment or property was over 50k, and remember that is before expenses, then you're in the MTD net. You'll be mandated from April 2026. They're rolling this out in waves. The threshold from April 2026 is over 50k, but then that falls to over 30k in April 2027, and then it drops to just £20,000 after April 2028. And for those of you thinking, I'm on 20k, I'm safe, don't get comfortable. The government is reviewing whether to drag you in as well. So if you get this letter, you need to act. You're already in their system. First, if you have an accountant, get on the phone to them today. Show them this letter you've received. And if they don't know about MTD yet, and many don't have a clue, you might need a new accountant. Second, you need to make a decision about software. HMRC won't provide any. So you've got two options. Option one, full accounting software. QuickBooks Zero, Free Agent. This is expensive. We're talking anywhere from £20, £50 per month, plus the time to take to learn it. We only recommend going this route if you're running a complex business with lots of invoicing, as this system will actually just help you. Option two, keep using your spreadsheets and get bridging software or use an accountant to submit. This is what we're recommending for most people, because most people are keeping their records on Excel, and this means you can keep doing what you're used to. So rather than force people onto software, our solution is that you keep doing your books in spreadsheets, you send them to us, and we'll handle all the MTD submissions. It's much easier than learning new software, and it'll save you money. Third, get your timeline sorted. Know when you need to register for MTD. Understand your quarterly deadlines and mark them in your calendar now with reminders. If you want the information on this, just download our MTD It's an Action Plan, and this is everything you need to get on top of this. Fourth, and this is crucial, this is going to eat up a massive amount of time in the first year. Everyone is going to be learning, making mistakes, panicking about deadlines. So if you can afford an accountant, this might be the year to bite the bullet. So if you're worried about this, just give us a call. You can find a link below. Now, if you haven't submitted your self-assessment yet, you've got a narrow window of opportunity here. Download our action plan, the link's in the description below, because you need to be very careful about what figures you're reporting. Remember, HMRC are basing MTD mandation on gross income in your 24-25 tax return. So if you're hovering around the 50K mark, you need to make sure your income is correct, check if you can defer any income legitimately, and consider if some income actually belongs to a different tax year. I'm not saying fiddle the books, absolutely not, but make sure you're not overstating income and just walking yourself into MTD for no reason. And there is also an escape route. So the good news is that HMRC confirmed in July 2025 that limited companies will not have to do MTD for corporation tax, and they have no plans of doing so. So think about it. Sole traders and landlords, they're getting hammered with quarterly reporting, but limited companies, they're basically off the hook. For many of you, forming a limited company actually might be the answer. And yes, there are pros and cons, and it's not going to be right for everyone. But if you're over that 50K threshold and the thought of quarterly reporting makes you sick, it's going to be worth considering. So talk to your accountant about if this is actually an option for you. And we actually offer a full business MOT where we'll look at your situation, help you decide if incorporating makes sense. Because here's the thing, it's not just about avoiding MTD. There could be tax savings as well, better protection for your assets, and more credibility with larger clients. And look, I know this feels overwhelming. I know it feels like HMRC are deliberately making it harder to run a small business. Because let's be honest, that's exactly what they're doing. They want to make it so complicated, so burdensome that only big corporations with armies of accountants can thrive. They're squeezing out the little guy, the entrepreneur, the side hustler, just trying to build something. And all this is happening just before the Treasury increases taxes on small businesses this month. So you'll have to spend more time doing admin for HMRC while also paying more tax. And people are already saying they're going to just jack it all in. But it just means you need to make better decisions. The key is preparation. Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't wait until April 2026 and panic. Start preparing now. If you've received one of these letters, or if you know you're going to get caught in the MTD net, here's what you need to do. Download our MTD action plan. The link's in the description below. If you need to do MTD and need help, call your accountant. And if your accountant doesn't understand MTD or you haven't got one, call us for a free consultation and we can find the best way forward for you. Now, if you want to keep out of the MTD net, then consider whether forming a limited company makes sense. Again, if you just book a call, we can help you with that business MOT. Make sure to hit subscribe because we are going to be diving deeper and deeper into MTD as the deadline approaches.